Hi BL enthusiasts, episode 9 picks up right after tragedy strikes. Jet and Chan take Khem back to the master's residence. Khem is broken, consumed by guilt and sorrow, and he shuts himself away in his room. Chan can only sit outside, listening to the sound of his cries, feeling powerless. This immediately sets the tone for the whole episode: grief, regret, and a silence that feels heavier than words. You can already tell that Khem's pain is going to shape how he connects with Pharan moving forward, and that's the emotional anchor of this installment. While Khem drowns in guilt, the funeral for Grandma C begins. The sound of the Tani Krasang funeral song echoes through the village, pulling everyone into mourning. The villagers respect her last wish to keep her body only one night before cremation. It's poignant because Grandma C lived a life of giving, caring, and selflessness, so fulfilling her request becomes their final act of gratitude. Pharan, though, takes the loss the hardest. He sits silently in his blood-stained white shirt, refusing to move or change, staring at the incense pot in front of her coffin. For him, Grandma C wasn't just a villager, she was like his second mother. She was the one who gave him his first embrace after losing his real mother, who cooked for him, cared for him, and became his anchor. So when you see him sitting there with all that sorrow, you realize Pharan's strength isn't just supernatural, it's deeply human. And this is where the brilliance of the series shines. Pharan's grief is paralleled with Khem's guilt. Both of them are suffering, but for completely different reasons. Pharan mourns the loss of someone who shaped him, while Khem blames himself for triggering the events that led to Grandma C's death. Their pain intersects, and it's clear that their connection will be tested. The trailer teases this silent bond, showing glimpses of Pharan glancing at Khem, and Khem lowering his eyes, unable to face the man whose heart he fears he has shattered. But episode 9 isn't just about mourning. There's a spiritual subplot that deepens Pharan's character. When he returns home to prepare for the funeral rites, he encounters the spirit of Ek, a young boy trapped in this world because of an old ritual done by Pharan's grandfather. Ek is broken after losing his twin brother, Thong, and begs Pharan to bring him back. The scene is incredibly moving because Pharan can't give him what he wants, but he can give him peace. He offers Ek a choice: to stay, or to be reunited with his brother in the next life. The way the boy clings to him, sobbing, feels almost like a reflection of Khem's sorrow, the desperation of wanting someone back who can't return. Pharan chants a mantra, transforming Ek into a soft light, sending him to a better place. It's one of the most touching scenes of the series so far, because it reveals the depth of Pharan's compassion. He's not just a master or a shaman figure, he's someone who understands love, loss, and sacrifice. And here's where the trailer hints at the Pharan-Khem dynamic. Pharan's kindness toward spirits mirrors how he views Khem. Despite everything that's happened, despite the anger and sorrow, Pharan can't look at Khem without seeing someone who is worth saving. The tension lies in whether he will allow that compassion to turn into forgiveness, and more importantly, into love. Then we cut back to Khem. At dawn, he quietly prepares food and takes it to Grandma C's funeral. His apology at her coffin is heartbreaking. He blames himself, telling her that if he hadn't come, none of this would have happened. His voice cracks, and you can feel the weight of his guilt. He promises to keep making merit for her, to honor her memory, but his words are soaked with self-blame. This is where Khem's vulnerability becomes crystal clear. He's not just sad, he's broken, and he's scared of being rejected by Pharan because of it. Chan and Jet notice it immediately. They see Khem retreat into silence, sitting in the background, not speaking, barely breathing. Jet especially worries, torn between caring for his master and protecting Khem. He even thinks to himself that he'll make Pharan understand Khem isn't at fault. This adds another layer to the story. Pharan's disciples are invested in Khem, too, and they see the potential of his bond with their master. Now, the trailer for this episode does a brilliant job of teasing these emotions. You see flashes of Pharan at the funeral, sitting rigid, his face unreadable, while Khem's eyes are red from crying. You see quick cuts of the gazes almost meeting but then breaking away. You see Jet looking between them, tense, as if waiting for a storm to break. And most importantly, you see the funeral fire, the incense burning, and the sense that something bigger than both of them is about to ignite. From a romance perspective, this episode sets the stage for something crucial: trust. Pharan and Khem are on the edge of breaking apart, but they're also closer than ever because of shared pain. Love in stories like this doesn't bloom in joy, it grows in the cracks of sorrow. And episode 9 hints that Pharan, even in his grief, can't completely shut Khem out. Meanwhile, Khem, no matter how guilty he feels, can't stop caring for Pharan. Their connection is wordless, but you can see it in every frame. So why is this trailer so impactful? Because it shows us the depth of the characters without giving away their resolution. It promises us that episode 9 isn't just about funerals and spirits, it's about healing, forgiveness, and the possibility of love that survives even when everything else crumbles. We see Pharan standing between the spiritual world and the human one, and we see Khem caught between guilt and love. And you just know these two are going to collide in ways that will hurt, but also heal. As a viewer, you're left with questions. Will Pharan blame Khem for Grandma C's death, or will he see past the tragedy to the boy who is just as broken as he is? Will Khem find the courage to face Pharan, to tell him the truth of his feelings, or will he stay hidden in silence? And perhaps most importantly, will this shared grief become the foundation of something deeper, something that transforms sorrow into love? That's what makes this trailer so powerful. It's not flashy, it's not action-packed, but it's dripping with emotion. It shows us glimpses of love forming in the shadows of loss, and it leaves us desperate to see how episode 9 will unfold. And that's my breakdown of episode 9's trailer for Khemjira The Series. This one sets up a heavy, emotional ride that digs deep into Pharan and Khem's relationship. It's about grief, guilt, forgiveness, and maybe, just maybe, the beginnings of love that can survive even the darkest night. If you've been following this series, you know this episode is going to leave a mark. Stick around, because the story of Pharan and Khem is far from over, and their bond is only going to grow stronger from here.